boat today, and I'm going to be showing you how we go about fixing Flexiteek to the deck of this Karnic 2250. I've had the boat about 6 or 7 years now. It's beginning to look a little bit tired. It's just got ordinary non-slip decking on, and now we're going to fit Flexiteek. This is the 2G scrubbed Flexiteek, which should make it look a lot smarter, give a bit more grip, nice and cool underfoot, and overall will improve the look of the boat. So let's see how we go about doing that.
Right, so here we have the four main colours of Flexiteek. You have the scrubbed finish, bleached, weathered and teak. Basically the weathered obviously looks like old weathered teak. The scrubbed is meant to represent the in-between stage, and the bleach is actually made mainly for the Mediterranean because it's so light in colour. It's a lot cooler to stand on. The finish article, you can add the borders and the nosing to make it look like chunky teak. This is a step, for example, which is going on a steel boat on the Thames. Right, so if you look closely you can actually see the texture of the planking, which represents the real teak effect. So you've got grain running in a different direction to the margin board. Also, if you look closely you can actually see different colour variation that's been extruded into the plastic. It shows up more on various colours. The weathered, for example, has bits of colour in it, whereas the bleached is it's more of a flat colour, if you like. Right, so this is the material we use to make the template for the decking. It's just a clear polythene plastic sheeting. We use it's quite a firm plastic, so it doesn't ripple too much. Some of the other plastics are quite greasy and they're hard to lay flat, but this is a pretty firm product, and it's ideal for what we do. So here I'm just marking on the table base, again just ticking where the decking is going to come up to and stop. Basically the table base is 5mm proud, so our decking is 5mm thick, so the decking will run nicely up into it and it'll be a nice flush finish. Right, so now all I'm doing now is marking out where the decking's going to cover, basically. So marking the non-slip onto the plastic, just so we know where the decking's going to go. Right, so as you can see, it's all been marked up now, ready to be sent back to the workshop for the guys back there to start fabricating the panel.
After the initial template from the boat has been taken, we take it back to the factory, and this is the final product. Basically, that's the finished surface. This is the undersurface, which is 2x45 planking, which is welded together individually, and then a margin is put round to finish off the final panel. Basically, this here is the product when it's been welded together and cut with a standing knife. So you get these crisp, sometimes a bit uneven, unclean edges. So what we do is we get a bit of 40 grade sandpaper, give it a good sand up, round it over like you would a real piece of teak, to create something like this one here. The first step is to prep the deck using an orbital sander. Make sure there's no lumps and bumps on the deck, and give it a good key for the glue to stick to. At this stage I get some acetone, clean rag, and make sure I degrease the deck before laying the Flexiteek decking. Right, now the deck is fully prepared and ready to go. What I've done is laid the individual panels in place where they're going to be finally glued down. What I might find is you come across things like that. There's a drain hole there, so what I need to do is lay the decking on top, mark around that drain and cut it out with it using a standing knife. Now the Flexiteek panels are in place and they're pretty much ready for gluing. All I've done is masking tape around the exterior, one, so I can guarantee that the panels will go back in the same place when I glue, and two, it makes it a lot quicker and easier to clean off the excess glue afterwards. Obviously that's all dust free. I'm going to give it a good glue. Right, now I'm just gently lowering the panel into position, not putting too much weight on it to start with. Gently lower it down into place, just sort of let it settle naturally, then apply a bit of heat. It basically softens up the material to let it naturally settle. It also makes it easier to roll out as well. Make sure there's no air bubbles underneath the decking. Right, now I'm going to get the roller and just roll it down each panel nice and hard. Ensure getting air bubbles pushed out to the edge. Okay, once you've gone over it with the roller, you give it a good fill with your hand. You generally, if it's got any air bubbles underneath the decking, you will feel them under the hand. And if you do feel any, just get a bit of heat on it again and give it another heavy roll to push the air to the edge, so you hear the dips out the side. Well, it's been a couple of hours now since the actual glue's been put on initially. The deck's starting to tack off, it's starting to skin over, so what I'm doing now, I've pulled the tape off and I'm just going to clean any excess silicone that may be on the deck still. We've refitted the customer's fittings for his seats and table, and just a general tidy up now and clean. And here you have the finished product of Flexiteek decking.
So now that the guys at Advanced Marine Decking have finished fitting the Flexiteek to my boat, let's go and have a look to see what it looks like. I think you'll have to agree that the effect is pretty impressive. It looks just like the real thing. This colour variation, the texture and the feel of it, it's really nice and soft and warm, but not too hot in the sun. It's totally transformed the look and the feel of my boat. I'm really pleased with it.